everyone. I hope you're all doing good in the middle of the lockdown. I wanted to evaluate the situation today in the midst of the COVID crisis in light of biases and in light of behavioral sciences. The very first bias that I want to talk to you about is called the fear of the unknown. Our reptilian brain is really averse to unknown situations. The COVID crisis with the unknown virus, which research has been unable to crack so far, is likely to be very fearful of this. However, it's up to us to break this. There were ancestors that we had who embraced uncertainty, and they were the ones who really allowed the civilization to move forward. The second one that I want to talk to you about is our tendency to overestimate probabilities. In fact, there are industries like the insurance industry, the lottery industry that actually plays on this psychology of ours as humans. We tend to exaggerate even small probabilities. In this current crisis, the probability that we would actually contract the virus is pretty small. However, we tend to make it huge in our own mind and tend to be overcautious at times. Maybe time for us to break that mindset too. The third one that I want to talk to you about is our tendency to have a huge respect for authority and follow a herd mentality. This is something that's actually working for us. We tend to follow directions from people who we consider to be authoritative. Medical workers, practitioners, the government officials. We tend to, in the case of a crisis especially, we tend to listen to these people far more. We also tend to follow a herd mentality, which means we tend to do what others are doing. This seems to be working for us in the case of the lockdown. We've been able to keep ourselves disconnected from the rest of the world for days together, probably because of this. The other one that I want to talk to you about is called availability bias. We tend to remember what we see and hear and what is readily available to us. In this case, the media has been feeding us a lot of news about the coronavirus, about the crisis, about the number of cases, how they've been growing up, etc. And therefore, all that we remember is this. There must be a lot of other great things happening in the world right now. Maybe not at a scale that the coronavirus is happening at, but at a smaller scale. However, because we are not being fed that reality, it's not there in our consciousness. Maybe it's time for us to disconnect ourselves from this particular news item and start reading and talking about other things. Finally, the power of stories. Stories have an amazing sway on our minds and our brains. Right now, what are the kind of stories that you're listening to? The media obviously is feeding us stories of people who are young, who've unwittingly contracted the virus, sad stories of people being affected, people being monetarily affected. But there are also great stories of people actually recovering from the crisis, people actually reinventing their business models, people who have been able to, in spite of being old, overcome the virus, conquer the virus. If we simply start listening to those stories and making them a part of our consciousness, there'll be a tremendous shift in the way we think and the way we feel. So those were my thoughts around the behavioral science behind how we're thinking, how we're feeling right now. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.